Let's go over Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the sequel trilogy by J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, Episode 9 is currently being filmed by director J.J. Abrams. Everything is starting to come together in one big piece here. We do know that John Boyega is actually training just before he begins filming right now. I don't know if you guys actually checked out his Instagram, but if you guys actually go on there, you can get your very first look at what Finn is going to look like and the hairstyle that he will sport in Episode 9. And honestly, I'm digging it. It looks pretty cool on him. Now, moving on forward, I wanted to go over the potential dangers if Episode 9 fails. This is something that a lot of analysts have been going over and a lot of people have been talking about as well, on whether or not such and such would happen if Episode 9 ends up failing storytelling-wise and box office-wise. Now, a great example was Solo: A Star Wars Story. As you all witnessed, the Solo: A Star Wars Story box office results really weren't all that well, at all. Even director Ron Howard actually admitted that, that's something that they all didn't really, agree upon. They didn't really think that they did well at the box office, but he said, for him, the movie did great on how it was made, and I gotta say, it was a pretty enjoyable movie. I only saw it once, but I thought it was very entertaining for what it was. But, like I say, I'm more into the Jedi and Sith stuff and actual wars, and that's exactly why I'm kind of looking more forward to Episode 9 and the new Star Wars trilogy by the Game of Thrones guys. But looking at everything here, one of the big potential dangers if Episode 9 fails to meet expectations and doesn't do too well at the box office is the quality of Star Wars movies would decrease to prevent large losses by using big budgets. So this is the example here. The Solo: A Star Wars Story box office results, alright, didn't do too well, and in turn, a lot of the standalone movies were put on hold, and Disney and Lucasfilm are actually rethinking their entire strategy. The Boba Fett movie apparently is off. That's actually no longer in the works, so we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens with everything here. However, one of the big things that a lot of people are talking about if Episode 9 fails is that the quality of Star Wars movies would decrease because Disney and Lucasfilm at that point would be losing a whole lot more money, and they would start pouring less money into their big projects. Hence, the quality of content would be lower, so the quality of the movies would go down. And this is something that you see in the movie business all of the time, especially with some studios out there that are, running sequels upon sequels of a certain franchise, and they're not doing too well, and they start, kind of putting a cap, right, on their budget, how much money they're going to put into these future projects. And that's when you do see a difference in how a movie is made and exactly how it's executed on film. The other thing is the quality of movies would decrease, but not only that, the less movies would be in theaters. So less movies would be in theaters, but instead on Disney's streaming service. Now, we actually heard about this lightly a couple of months ago. You guys may recall that the Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars movie may very well hit Disney's streaming service as a selling point to get people on to subscribe to the Disney streaming service to tune in to not only a movie, but other Star Wars TV series such as the Clone Wars Season 7, Jon Favreau's live-action TV series, and a whole lot more. Now that's the big talk right now, is that Disney would use a big movie based on a big character for their streaming service to get people in and subscribe. Now, if they were to bring more movies onto a streaming service as opposed to bringing them in theaters, that is something that I would honestly, feel very upset about. I feel like that there's something magical and special about going to the theater, experiencing a Star Wars movie with a whole bunch of other Star Wars fans, hearing them cheer and clap and woo. I think that's the best experience there really is. And if they start backtracking and if they start kind of pulling that away, I feel like it just loses the magic when you're just tuning in on, your home TV without Star Wars fans around. I think that there's something really exciting about going to the movies. The last thing that a lot of people and analysts are talking about if Episode 9 fails is that Star Wars may very well have a hiatus, or Star Wars could just end altogether. And obviously that is something that a lot of hardcore Star Wars fans wouldn't want to see. But there's also a lot of hardcore fans out there that would love Star Wars to stop at Episode 9. It's kind of like a real, mixed bag right now on how people want Star Wars to continue. Some people want it to just end. Some people want it to continue and see it do better. And for me, I would love Star Wars to do better and move forward and just increasing the quality and really just doing something very much similar to what Kevin over at Marvel, the president of Marvel, what he's doing and how he's actually treating the Star Wars fans, or should I say the Marvel fans, very, very well. You can see the feedback. You can see how well those movies do. No matter how many Marvel movies come out a year, generally they all do very, very well. But anyways, guys, that's what I wanted to go over for Star Wars Episode 9. Whether or not you agree or disagree with those, do, let me know what you think about that below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.